Hello, welcome back to the Kitchen Table Modelers Workshop. My name's Ian and it's my kitchen table where I do all my modelling. So, back for, I think is possibly part 3 of the HobbyBoss IDF Nagmachon painting video. I won't say build because I didn't film the building, but it's more of how I modularly constructed the vehicle and how I do my paint processes. So if we look at where we left off last time, then we had all the tracks, the running gear all painted up, the underside painted up, and we were at the point of looking to finish off the final detailing, and then it'll be masking and then priming the top surfaces and going for paint there. Now, a slight deviation from that is that I actually spent a little bit more time, as I thought, putting on the final detail pieces, which are these securing chains here on the top of the side armour plates. So in this part 3 we're going to focus on that, and then when we're done that we're going to, in part 4, move on to masking and priming and probably pre-shading and maybe even a base coat. We'll just see how quick the painting goes, but this part is just going to be finishing off these final details, and then moving on part 4 we're going to push ahead and get on with painting. So enough waffling for me, let's get down on the table and we can see how the works go. Okay, so we're back on the bench. Now, as discussed in the intro then, we've got the model with the wheels and tracks assembled and painted, ready for further detail and weathering. And now we need to focus on the upper surfaces of the tank. Now, I've got a little bit of repair work to do here. The float ledge is lifted slightly, but one of the things I've got to do is something that HobbyBoss did include in the kit, is fasten heavy chains from these link points here to the link points on the top of the side skirt retaining system. Now, if you get the Tiger Models version of this kit, they provide the chain in the kit with it. The HobbyBoss have omitted the chain and even added it on the instructions. So in my spares box I have some 2mm 3x2 brass chain. It's bought off of eBay. I actually bought it for a ship project and never used it, but it is actually just the right size of chain to add all the chain links on the side. And having already built the doghouse version of the HobbyBoss kit, I know that the short links, you need 6 links, and then for the longer links where you span them from here to here on a diagonal, you need about 8 links. So what I'm going to do is, we've got the chain here, we've got the kit ready to go. I need to grab a couple of bits of tools, and I can show you how I go about breaking the links and then assembling on the model. We need to do this before we prime the model, so the chain gets primed at the same time. It's a really nice copper colour, obviously, and it will shine. It will be very difficult, as I found in my last model, to paint and prime and paint this once the model's already painted, and assure that you're going to get all the sides of the chain painted, because the other kit I've built, then there's still bits of copper showing through, so that's something I've got to deal with on that one. So anyway, I'll go and get all the tools and we can have a look at what we use, and then I'll show you how we go about getting the chain on the model. Okay, so tools. Most important tool I need to do this job is my visor, magnifying visor. This is just a standard visor I get off Amazon, and I can't do without it because the links are so small. My eyesight's it's not the best, so I do need a little help. Now, there's a variety of tools that you maybe need. I've got an old pair of sprue cutters from Citadel that I may need to split the links if the links are joined. If they've already got a split in them, that's a bit better. Tamiya's bending pliers, the small nose ones, they're excellent for working obviously with foot wedge, but they're also really good because they've got a nice fine point on them for working with the chain. If I need to hook stuff, I've got a basic dental pick, and it's a cranked end pick either end, and a really good pair of stout tweezers, and then finally I've got a really old pair of flat nose pliers. These are all the tools I use for doing this. So I'm going to go get my visor on, get back at the table, and we'll get on with it. Right, so got my seat. I'll adjust the visor so I can actually see what I'm doing. Now, if I just move that out of the way for a minute, let me get in here and you can see what I'm doing. So if we start, we'll do a 6 linker first, which is the short one. So I don't know how well you can see this on camera. It's the beauty of the pick, you can put it in a loop and grab it and then you've got something to hold on to. Yeah, okay, so the links themselves are actually split. So all we need to do, we don't have to cut them, which is a mercy. So all we actually need to do is just break them apart and then close them back around. These are the fixing points here and here, here and here, here and here. So as I said, these straight down runs, then they are just 6 links, and then you need an extra 2 links to do the diagonal runs. There. So you need 3 at 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at 8. So, and I'm not going to do all of these on camera, but I will do a couple. So all I do is count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 links. So we know that's the link, put the spike in. So we know we've got the right one we need to separate. Now you can either do one or two ways. You can either separate the 6th link or take the 7th link and take the whole 6th link chain out. What I tend to do is just do the 6th link. So just take it in the pliers and then give it just a little twist. I'm hoping this camera's picking this up. A little twist like that, there we go. And then that link will come away from the rest of the chain. Now for a fella like me who's got huge hands, having tweezers and the like make a big difference to getting this done. Now, I certainly found in the last couple I've built, it's easier if I thread the open link into the upper fix and hold to start with. And then once it's there, all we need to do, and this is going to be difficult for me to show you on camera, once it's there, all we need to do is close the link in the hole. Magnifying, the beauty of these magnified as well, they've got a light on them. Now, also that if you've got a stout pair of tweezers, they're going to be really handy because they'll be able to help with the strain of closing that link. And it is really fiddly work, but on the flip side it's also really rewarding work because you add so much more detail to the kit, and this is why we're doing it, because we want to try and add a bit of realism to the kit. Right, so if you clamp it in like that, and there really is no easy way of doing this, you've just got to try and figure out what works for you, because what works for me might not work for you. I'm just showing you how I do it. by the time you've gotten done the last one, you'll be doing them no bother at all. There we go, that's it. So you just need to nip it and twist it back close now. We'll get a close-up photograph of this when I'm done. But once you've got the top attached, then it's holding the chain in place. So that gives you then a lot more leeway to split the bottom link and get that threaded through the bottom hole. Now again, just using the dental probe as a lever, just enough to open that bottom link up. I'm holding the chain up with the dental probe so it doesn't get all fouled up. Back through like that and fold it away. Try again. And I'm sorry if you're not seeing this. I'll check the film before I film the next one. Make sure we get a better camera angle if this isn't working. So basically we want to get the link into the plastic, and then we want to thread the open end onto the chain that we fastened to the top link. And once we've got that in place, even if we're holding it with the Tamiya pliers, there must be some iron in this chain because as you work with it, it seems to get a little magnetized. When it magnetizes, then it's very difficult to keep it in place. So try again. So link in, hook on the chain to the link. There we go, that's the chain on. And then Tamiya pliers to close it up. That's it. Now once it's closed a little bit, you're not going to have the problem of the chain falling away. It'll give you a bit more opportunity just to manipulate that link and neaten up the join there. So that's what we're aiming for. Aiming for there, we're aiming to have that chain attached there like that. Now what I'll do is I'll check the footage and make sure that we've got a decent bit of recording, and if not, then we'll do another one. I'll do one of the longer ones, and then once I'm sure I've got that in the bag, I'll do the whole lot of them and we'll come back when they're all done. So give me a moment and we'll come back and have a look. Okay, so I've just stuck a quick Tupperware tub underneath the side of the tank so we can get it elevated, and hopefully you can get a good view of what we're doing. I'll not do a number 6 again, I'll do a number 8, or an 8 link chain that we're needing. So as before, we count 8 links. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 8 links there. So we need to split the link. So just split it with the Tamiya pliers, and the chain's nice and soft, so you don't actually have to put that much force into it to split the link. Right, so we're going from that mounting point. Use a pointer. We're going from this mounting point here to this fastening point here. So try not to drop the chain because you will lose the open link. Thankfully it landed on the cutting mat. I have lost a few of these on the floor before now. Very, very annoying. Right, so first off we get it in the top half. That's in nicely. Now I'm right-handed, so grip that open link with tweezers in the left hand, I should then be able to use Tamiya pliers with my right to bring it closed. Just change the angle a little. Change it that way around, I'll be able to see the other side of the link, which is what I'm struggling with here. So, let's get a squeeze on that link, push it through, and then squeeze it shut. And the more you get it closed, the more it holds its place. There we go, that's it. Right, if I leave it at this angle, then you should be able to see it and I should be able to see it. So now we've got the link nicely fastened to the top of the chassis. We'll get that in there, our little dental pick. Again, we'll come back with the Tamiya bending pliers just to grip the side of the link. And then with the dental pick, we'll just use that as a lever and gently rock it open. Again, you don't need it just hugely open, you just need it enough to get over the plastic. And the holes in the plastic are a generous size, so this particular size of chain fits really well, and it's in scale as well. It looks very similar to the chain that's provided in the Tiger Models kit for their Nagmachon and the side armour. Right, so once we're happy with where the chain is seated, which we are now, and yeah, magnetized, definitely magnetized, so there's definitely alloy of iron in this, which is really annoying. Really annoying. So you do need a bit of patience to do this job. Perseverance. There we go, there's the link back in. Try again. Once you get it, and when it's all done, it's really satisfying, because you will make a huge improvement to the model. The other way of doing it, it's not working that way, is thread the open link through if we can. Right. There's the open link. So if we can hold that open link there, like that, we then got the thread the chain on to the link, somehow which side. There. And then with the Tamiya pliers we can come in and nip it closed. When it goes together well, it really does go really quickly. That's it. So we have another 4 more 8 numbers link to do, and another 2 6 numbers link to do, and then obviously the same on the other side. So I'm just gonna get it all done, and then we'll come back and see the finished article. Okay, so after about an hour of working away, I have got all the chains fastened to both sides of the tank, and hopefully you can see that it really has livened up the tops of the side skirts and how they actually are in real life joined, because if you look at the box art you can see the chains as clear as day. So it's a nice little improvement to do, a little bit fiddly but well worth the effort. Moving on from that, I've noticed I've got one ejector pin here on this side. I need to just whip away with a scalpel before we paint, and then we need to fasten down a little bit of photo etch, and then obviously I need to mask up all the wheels and tracks so we don't overpaint them with our top layer of paint. So I'm going to gather up all the stuff for sorting out that ejector pin mark and masking, and we'll come back and have a look how we do that. So there we are, that's part 3 done with. As I said before, we have now got the final detail of the chains added to the kit. These weren't included in the kit, this is just extra chain I had laying aside from another build that was a suitable size and weight for this kit, but it really does add that last bit of detail that was missing. And if anyone's built the Tiger Hobbies Nagmachon, then it comes with the chain included, and it does make a big difference. So that's a lovely little bit of detail put on. The kit really is now ready for a little bit of masking to protect the running gear and the tracks from all the primers and paint coats we're going to do, and it's ready for top coat. So we'll leave it at that, and we'll come back in part 4 for masking, priming and the painting process. If you liked what you saw, that's great. I'd appreciate if you consider liking and subscribing. If you have any questions, feel free to put them down in the box below. I always take the opportunity to read any questions that come in, and I always reply. And I appreciate anyone taking the time to put questions below. So if you have any, just fire away. And if you have any comments or suggestions in other ways I can do things differently, or things you'd like to see, fire them in below as well. I can certainly think about that in the next build. So until part 4 and next time, happy modelling guys, take care and be safe.